Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Teleislas News, the most important news of the day. From very early hours, the second mass vaccination campaign began in the department. This campaign aims to apply 33,000 second doses of the biological Sinovac throughout the next 3 days.
The convention center of the Isleño Hotel is already enabled to immunize all islanders. The first to receive his second dose was the Governor Everett Hawkins Green in an inaugural act, who gave statement to the media along with the Secretary of Health.
Nos encontramos en este momento.
We are currently in the second massive vaccination campaigns for the second dose of Sinovac vaccine, which is being held from July 21st to the 23rd, from 7 in the morning until 7 in the evening. The goal is to vaccinate more than 8,000 people per day. This campaign will be very important because it is necessary for the population to have access to the second dose in order to collectively immunize the community.
Para primeras dosis aquí en esta jornada de vacunación.
For the first dose in this massive vaccination campaign, we have 5,600 doses of Sinovac available for the entire community. For those people who have not been vaccinated because they had COVID-19 and have already completed 3 months or were traveling, the vaccine is safe. It has proven effective against COVID and all its variants. Here, the first thing we can do is to get vaccinated and protect our family and ourselves.
During the first day of the first massive vaccination campaign, 7,309 people were vaccinated. It is expected that this figure will be equal for the first day of this second campaign. On the other hand, the community has come early in the morning to get immunized, and this was what they told us.
Pues llegué como a las 7:15.
I arrived at 7:15. I think it's a good service because we didn't take long at the entrance. After we got inside, it took a little while, the usual. But I thought it was spectacular. This is the second dose I've taken.
Pues en la primera dosis.
For the first dose, we arrived at 6 o'clock in the morning and the process was a bit long. This second dose, we came at 6 o'clock in the morning and it was very fast.
El proceso muy bueno. Yo llegué a las 7:45.
The process was very good. I arrived at 7:45 a.m. In 20 minutes, I was already outside. This is the second dose I have taken, and just like the first day, there was a lot of order.
During the second mass vaccination campaign, the governor's goal is to apply 33,000 doses of Sinovac.
And our news team is outside the Hotel Isleño to know how the community perceived the second mass vaccination campaign.
Good evening, Lisa and all the TV viewers. I say hello from here from the Hotel Isleño, where the second mass vaccination in our department is going through. Actually, there is a little line, but it's not very slow. It's moving very fast, so everybody can come to get vaccinated. We talked to the community who is here, who is getting vaccinated, and this is what they tell us of how they think about the logistics of the second massive vaccination.
I think it's good. Although the line is a little long, the last time we came there was no line, but I guess it's because it's the first day.
It has been very well organized since the first time. Today it is obvious that there are more people because it is the first day. But let's hope it will be fast even though the line is long, and let's hope the attention will be fast too. From here, from what I can see, how the people are crowded, there are no measures, no 2 meters distance, and that would be the main thing. Everything was absolutely fast. There were no kind of inconvenience with the people. They are coming in and all at once they get vaccinated, and I am inviting everyone to please come because it is empty here. Everything is well organized. I see everyone in their assigned place. Everyone is well and excellent. At this moment, there is no line. So I invite the people of San Andres to come and get vaccinated and to take advantage of this opportunity that the government is giving us. So far, it is moving smoothly and we are leaving fast.
Important to mention that up to this hour, more than 1,100 second doses of vaccine have been applied and more of 100 first doses of vaccination have been applied. The goal is that they can make or give 600 vaccine per hour so they can get to the goal that is 33,000 vaccine in this second mass vaccination. This is all the information I report from here from the Teleislas. Continue Lisa in studio with more information.
Thank you, Alice. And after this report by our journalists, the departmental government gave a summary on how the vaccination process is progressing on the island, indicating that so far, for the second day of immunization, they have managed to apply 2,364 second doses, while in first doses, 77 have been applied, for a total of 2,441 people have been immunized. On the other hand, Everett Hawkins, the island's leader, indicated to Teleislas News that the government's goal is to vaccinate 8,000 people per day. And regrettable events occurred on the 20th of July on the island, resulting in several injuries and 2 deaths.
Yesterday in the afternoon, there was a road accident involving a collision between a buggy car and a motorcycle that left one person dead and one injured. The event took place on the road towards Aribe near the EDM headquarters on the island, where the authorities removed the body. According to the medical report, the person who was riding the motorcycle involved in the accident was a 50-year-old man who entered in a state of drunkenness, who was diagnosed with moderate cranial encephalical trauma and trauma to the right shoulder under neurosurgeon management. The man who lost his life was also a tourist visiting the island. On the other hand, at 10:40 p.m., a 17-year-old boy was admitted to the departmental hospital with a gunshot wound in the right hemiabdomen and in poor general condition. According to the medical report, the wounded man underwent surgery for intra-abdominal organ involvement and is in the ICU. The young man is allegedly related to the fight that occurred in the Santa Ana neighborhood last night, which left one man dead and the aforementioned minor injured. Lastly, another road accident, this time on the San Luis Road near Coralina, where two motorcycles collided, leaving 3 minors, 2 of whom are 16 years old. According to the medical report, the man presents a fracture on the left wrist and a wound in the left plantar region, and the girl presented a displaced fracture of the left femur and slight cranioencephalic trauma. Both are being treated by orthopedics. The other minor involved in the accident was discharged in the early morning hours. Teleislas News regrets the events and sends condolences to the families and relatives of the deceased.
A new blow against drug trafficking on the island. In a joint operation between the Colombian Military Air Force and the National Navy, a ton of cocaine was confiscated.
In a joint operation between the Colombian Air Force and the Colombian Navy, the maritime interdiction of a go-fast type vessel was achieved 133 nautical miles southwest of San Andres Island, which was operated by 3 people who were carrying more than 1 ton of cocaine, a drug that was destined for Central America. 45 packages of cocaine weighing approximately 1,050 kilograms were found on the vessels. Thanks to the timely reaction of the deployment of the Colombian Armed Force, the crew members were captured and the cocaine was seized. The drugs, the vessel, and the crew members were taken to the National Navy Coast Guard facilities in San Andres and handed over to the competent authorities.
And the Department of Social Prosperity is working with the island's musical, artistic, tourism, gastronomic, agricultural, and fishing unions with the purpose of supporting them from the national government to improve their entrepreneurships.
By Raizal Business and Collective Entrepreneurs, HIP are 2 programs that seek to empower small businesses in the archipelago. A representative from the Department of Social Prosperity expanded this information.
We have the Collective Entrepreneurship Program that we are working with in both islands. In Old Providence, we will have 11 organizations, and in San Andres, we will attend 17 organizations for a total of 21 organizations attended.
In the same line, the official explained in depth what they are working on with the beneficiaries.
What we are doing is linking the organizations in San Andres, working with them in the formulation of the investment plan, that is to say, what they are going to do with the resources to improve their productive activity.
On the other side, Alvarez spoke about the estimated time for operations to begin.
The idea is that within 15 days, we will be starting operation, for which we made an agreement with the Chamber of Commerce of the archipelago, with which we will execute the program and the resources destined for these two programs in the archipelago.
The beneficiaries will receive a capital in inputs and equipment for up to 50 million pesos so that they can reactivate their economic activity throughout the improvement of strategies for each business. It is worth mentioning that in all provinces there are 600 beneficiary businesses, and there are 28 organizations between San Andres and the sister island.
And as we continue with more local news, a woman visiting the island was evacuated by the Coast Guard unit following an emergency at the Rose Key.
According to the commander of the Coast Guard unit in the last hours, crew members of the Colombian Navy performed a medical evacuation of a woman who presented a possible contusion in the head when she was on the Rose Key. The emergency was reported to the Maritime Traffic Control and Surveillance Tower about the 41-year-old woman who was resting with her husband, a 39-year-old man, both of Colombian nationality, when this unfortunate episode presented, which required medical assistance.
Esta dama presentó un inconveniente al haber tropezado.
That one presented an inconvenience to me when she hit her head. Unfortunately, at that moment she lost consciousness, but thanks to the call of the people who work in the sector, to the raizal people. That was fundamental because it allowed our Coast Guard personnel to arrive immediately, and that lady could be transported in a timely manner to the Coast Guard dock and later handed over to the ambulance and evaluated for her recovery.
Fortunately, the woman was not seriously injured and is in stable condition.
And now let's get to know other facts that are making news in our brief news sections of today.
The local government conducted in the coast playground or Casa Ludica the activity Rescuing Culture Through the Island's Gastronomy. It is a space dedicated to children who enjoyed the process of preparing a typical dish of the island, meeting and gathering with their roots. In the activity, around 35 children participated. Teachers from the island received a diploma in sustainable rural tourism in the Department of Quindío. Educators from Flores Hill, Instituto Técnico Industrial, Brooks Hill, and Bolivariano schools had the experience of being trained in the skills, abilities, and knowledge necessary for teaching and managing rural tourism, promoting viable, sustainable, and environmentally responsible projects from the school. The Tourism and National Heritage Protection Group in the pedestrian sector of Sprat Bight, in commemoration of the hashtag 20 de Julio, conducted biosecurity and safe tourism measure activities.
And now we continue with the weather forecast. The weather forecast for today, July 21st, in the coastal area of the archipelago, the sky is partly cloudy. Temperature is 28 degrees Celsius with winds from the northeast direction with intensities of 26 km per hour. Humidity forecast is of 84% and probability of precipitation is of 33%.